All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the March 26th Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first thing on our agenda are minutes from our last meeting. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
I do not.
I don't even.
Okay.
I move to approve the proceedings of Board of County Commissioners for March 19th, 2024 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County, March 19th, 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, planning. You guys are going to make it easy on us 2 weeks in a row. I like it.
We'll make it 3 weeks in a row for next week, too.
All right.
I don't want to stress Kim out on.
Then what?
Then you'll earn your keep.
Okay, it looks like we have a couple Mylars to sign today.
Correct.
And that's it. All right, we'll roll them out. We'll
All right.
come on down and we'll get it done.
How are you? Good. Did you see the massive amount of bills in the legislature?
Yeah, they're almost up to 600 now, but they're at least stopping these guys so that any of these late bills like they
Yeah.
try to usually run in the last 30 days, they're capturing.
Yeah. I couldn't help but notice the notation down here from Capitol Watch. There's 618 bills in the legislature, and the notation says legislature heading to a 700 bill year.
Yeah, I told you.
How do
Okay.
how do they expect us to keep track of all of this?
That's the whole point.
And
Anyway.
that's the idea.
I don't try.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that we need to discuss, Mr. Haley?
Nothing pressing at the moment.
Okay. Jerry Jane?
Unless you have something for us.
Boy, nothing that comes to mind. So,
Very
we're
good.
good.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, public comment. Board of County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may reduce to allow all the members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments. And if you keep moving that, I can't read anything. Please state your name and address for the record
Good
prior to
trick.
providing your comments, and comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted, and participants may not yield their time to others. With that, the public comment session is open.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
My name's Lori York. I still live at 28770 Road, LA, Cortez. I ran up the stairs, so give me a second. My main goal, my favorite topic is election integrity and get rid of the election machines because they have been proven to be a source of fraud in the elections. But actually, what we really need to do to save our country is to get rid of mail-in ballots, go to one-day voting on paper ballots with a voter ID, and hand count our votes. Something I realized this past week when I thought about talking again about this is that you as commissioners may really not have the time to do deep dives into all the evidence on the election fraud. And I know you have a huge job to do with a lot of your time, and you probably spend a lot of time and you study just on the projects that you're working on and what you have to vote on. And I have the time it takes to listen to alternate media that is not the mainstream media, that does not tell the lies. So I feel like maybe I can be here to inform you of the facts of the stolen 2020 election, also in the 2022 election. I don't know what y'all are thinking. I don't know whether you decide to ignore the facts or you'll just say, I don't believe it. But right now, there's polls that show that probably at least 70% of the Republican voters in an exit poll say that they believe the 2020 election was stolen. And there's a lot of Democrats and unaffiliated that believe, like maybe less than 50%, but a lot of them believe that also. So if you don't believe it, you're in the minority. And I just don't want you to be able to look at it and say, well, no one told me, I had no idea, because I'm here to try to show you some facts. And you also may say, well, there's no fraud here in our county, and there may not be. But there is data from the 2020 election that shows that 105% of our registered voters actually voted in our county, 105%. That's data that I have. I don't have it with me right now. Right now, we want to be able to hand count the November 2024 election. That's if we even have an election. And there's a lot of lies spread out about hand counting. They say it costs too much. There's not enough people to do the count. It would take too long. We'd never get it done on time. And these all have been proven to be false. There's a lot of people I've listened to that there's several counties in other states that have done hand counting. And it worked. They were accurate. They were done by 11 p.m. And right now, let's see, is that my time?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm up to 3 minutes already.
Your time's up.
Okay, I'll have more next time. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would like to submit those for the record, you can do that.
So that shows the data and everything?
Your papers? Yeah.
You can't really read it.
Okay, I'm just
But I'll bring some-
letting you know if you would like to submit it, you can submit it. Huh?
Good morning. Susan Chemnitz, 511 South Cedar Street. And I just wanted to comment on the Persons Who Wander grant. I don't know if your grant writer looks into where he's getting this money from, but this money came from an organization that is now getting more money to teach people how to implement red flag laws. And so this kind of worries me, and it makes me feel like if this is actually where that's coming from, why do we need a drone to go and look for these people that supposedly get away from nursing homes or whatever? Is this drone going to be used for something else? And even if it isn't, why are we taking money from an organization like this? This organization actually needs to be abolished. It's just another arm of the Department of Justice. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no others, I will close the public comment session of this meeting, and we are going to move right on down to our unfinished business. Yesterday in our workshop, we had a presentation from Southwest Health Systems. Bridget Jabor and Joe Thine came in. They are seeking a letter of support to Senator Bennett and Hickenlooper for some of the things that they need to have fixed that are critical: access to the hospital, and basically that's all they're asking for is a letter of support. Anything else to add?
No, did they say this was for the roof or some of the other? No.
No, this is
That
for
was the manifold, the gas manifold,
Mhm.
and,
surgical, emergency surgical labor
yeah.
and delivery, EMS, and other.
Emergency fuel oil.
Yeah, the generator.
System replacement and generator
Yeah.
stuff to keep it in case the power went
Yeah.
down, so.
I know that they're contracting out for the roof at this time, just trying to get word out there, taking bids, so anybody wants to put a roof in.
I move to approve the signing of this letter of support for congressional direct funding to both Senator Michael Bennett and Senator John Hickenlooper for how do you want to put that?
For upgrades.
To upgrade the Southwest Health Systems emergency fuel oil system replacement and possibility of loss of energy for fuel generator to keep the hospital working in an emergency.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to sign this letter of support to Southwest Health System for the upgrade of their systems. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Also discussed yesterday, we had a presentation from our emergency manager on a mutual aid omnibus agreement. There actually was a lot of conversation about this one. So we had the presentation yesterday. We heard from everybody. So today is we can or cannot make a decision. I do want to highlight, though, that our attorney did caution us that, and I think it's very valid and worthwhile, that we are acting as the U.S. and the others are basically, we are the mothership. Let me put it that way. I know Kent and I have worked under mutual aid agreements probably 30, 40 years of our life, but Commissioner Copenhaver also had some pretty good statements of how to proceed with this. So with that, I'm going to put it out to you gentlemen and ask for comments or.
I'd like to table this with further discussion.
Okay.
Gerald?
I second that too.
Okay. Been moved and seconded to second the omnibus mutual aid agreement. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Also discussed yesterday, we had a letter of intent for a reappointment to Sherry Gardner for the Areola Cemetery District. My question that I had yesterday to Travis to check into this was if this was a 6 or a 3-year term. We did find out that this is a 6-year term, and this will leave 2 people on this cemetery district, correct? So they still can function. And that's basically all this is a request to stay on the board.
I would so move we appoint Sherry Gardner to the Areola Cemetery Board for another term of 6 years.
Yes, sir.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Sherry Gardner to the Areola Cemetery District for 6 years. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, also too, in our workshop yesterday, we had a presentation from our finance officer to get our resolution number 4, 2024, amending the 2023 budget, and this is would be current as of 1/1 of 23. All of the funds that we have within the county per the audit, and this would coincide with it. So with that, gentlemen, anything else that you'd like to add?
No.
Okay.
Do we need to read these off, all of them, or are we gonna? Okay.
Displayed.
I move to approve resolution number 4-2024, amending the 2023 budget.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept and sign resolution number 4, 2024, a resolution amending the 2023 budget. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, ladies, if you want to come on down, I'll go to you next. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to our last bullet point here, which is the Department of Social Services and their financials. Miss Hargis Graves. Okay.
Morning.
All right. The floor is yours, Kelly.
So,
What have you got for us today?
yeah, the financials are included in there. Nothing crazy. Really business as usual this last month. We did hold our very first all-staff meeting, which was very positive. Good to have all members of the team there. We reviewed the merit system that was approved here in January. We went over all of everybody's new job descriptions that are now streamlined. So that was nice. But yeah, just trucking along. I feel a little discombobulated, getting back into the swing of things this week. But yes, I know that we have an outstanding Ormiston Fund request. And so if we want to take that up. The order number has been modified with the correct number, and I did put the correct year on this one. And so the request is for $3,047.41.
Transfer orders on the back. Number
Yeah.
3.
So move we adopt order number 3, 2024, to transfer $3,047.41 from the Claire Ormston Fund to Social Services Fund for patient expenses.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept order number 3, 2024, a transfer of $3,047.41 from the Clara Ormiston Fund to the Social Services Fund for cancer patient expenses. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So just sign in your spot or sign below you?
I thought you were, I should have signed up top. I thought the up top was yours.
Yeah.
I just can't get this one right.
That's okay. You want to, I'll be here all day, so
Okay.
you
want
can
this
bring it
one?
back and. Oh, all right. Well, there's two. You
like I
have
signed-
one right.
Well, mine's incorrect too, so. We don't do the Ormiston Fund a lot, so.
No.
We do not. However, I'll put those right there. Well, actually, I'll send them to Kim.
That's perfect.
All right. And then we also, if you guys want to take care of this, we can do the financials and the proceedings.
Go ahead. It's your turn.
You'll see some larger expenses in there. LEAP started to close out their year, so it's quite a bit more this month in there. We also had some expenses. The security cameras are in there, so that 27,000 line item in the warrant. So a few big things, but otherwise.
I move to approve the minutes and the financials presented for February 2024 for the board.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to sign the record of proceedings for the Department of Social Services for Tuesday, February 27th, 2024, and also the financials for February 2024 in the amount of $1,725,103.88. Is there any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I guess I will add, we've had lots of administrative reviews currently. Last week, we started our adult protection administrative review, so we have one of their reviewers coming down tomorrow to finalize their findings. Adult protection performed stellar. They did a great job following Volume 3 regulations. So that's great. We had a 4E evaluation last week, and we'll get those results the week after. So those are how we draw down those federal funds. We closed out an adoption subsidy administrative review last week. So rounding out the year with lots of reviews. We did have, the state did a screen out review, so that means all of our child welfare referrals that are coming in, they go through and determine, did we screen those out appropriately? And we did. Got stellar reviews on that as well, so everybody's doing well in those areas. Our adoption review had some hiccups, and so certainly some processes have been developed and drafted for staff to keep track of those. We don't do adoptions a lot, and so it's easy to forget how to do those, and there's tons of paperwork within them. So those are all going really well. It's tax season, as you know, so we've seen some really large tax intercepts for child support, which has been really great for some of our custodial parents who haven't received any child support in long periods of time. So
Since the last tax season?
before that even, we had one that came in that we were in court for contempt and some other things, and so the technician was excited, the custodial parent was excited. It's nice.
Good.
So you'll see those number increase both next month and the month after, because child support is always giving us delayed numbers. So you'll see some higher
Good.
income. But besides that, just trucking along.
Good. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Then we're going to move up to our next bullet point, which was our decision related to the structuring of our noxious weed department. This was also discussed in our workshop yesterday. And basically the 2-minute synopsis of this is that we are basically going back to pretty much what we had in 2008, 2007, Commissioner Copaver, is that right? So we had a program that had grown significantly, and we're kind of reducing this back to what the state statute says that we have to provide, and that's where we're headed. We're going to have a part-time person, 23 hours, 24 hours a week, and they will be providing and basically running the cost share program, the mapping, and along with the CSU extension agents, identification of what you have on your properties. This program will now fall under our natural resource director. So James Dietrich will be the gentleman overseeing the person that will be the part-time person. So that's pretty much the decision that we have in front of us today, that we are moving it back to what we had in the mid-2000s. Anything else that I missed, gentlemen?
Okay.
I have nothing else. Go ahead.
I move to approve our 2024 Montezuma County Noxious Weed Plan as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the 2024 Montezuma County Noxious Weed Plan as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And while we're signing that, if you would like, Jerry, you can come on up and we can talk about a renewal.
Morning, Jerry.
Morning.
My name is Jerry Frizzell. I do the liquor license and renewals for Montezuma County. Today I have one for Echo Basin LLC, doing business as Echo Basin Ranch, located at 43747 Road M in Mancos, Colorado. And I have the letter from the sheriff that there's no violations against this business.
Okay.
I would so move we approve the retail liquor license renewal application for Echo Basin LLC at 43747 Road M as in Mary, Mancos, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept and sign the retail liquor license renewal application for Echo Basin Ranch LLC, located at 43747 Road M, Mancos, Colorado. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. You want to do our reports before we go into executive session? Are you good with
Sure.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to jump down to our county attorney report.
Okay. Last week, we received 2 written filings in the Ironwood case. We received a response from Ironwood on the motion that we filed to reduce the contempt sanctions to judgment. If you'll recall, the contempt sanctions that we asked to be reduced to judgment were through February 4th of this year, and they totaled close to $300,000, about $289,000 for the county, and then a little bit over $300,000 for CDPHE. The county received a little bit more in payments from Ironwood over the course of this whole ordeal. And so we did file that motion to reduce those sanctions to judgment. Ironwood did file their response last week, and so we'll have a reply due this coming Wednesday, tomorrow. We're working on that right now and get that back and hopefully get those sanctions reduced to judgment. A couple days later, last Friday, we received a motion from Ironwood for a reconsideration of the sanctions that had been imposed by the courts. And so we will have 21 days to respond to that motion. In essence, Ironwood makes several arguments in the motion. Most notably, they argue that the wood product on the property is not waste, and it's a usable product that they're hoping to use for a biochar operation. And so they're hoping that that will lead the court to reconsider the fines. I think what's going to be difficult for Ironwood to overcome is the fact that they stipulated to being in contempt of the court order to remove the material from the site. And so, this is somewhat similar to an argument that was made by Ironwood about 3 months ago that the court did not go with at that point. So a lot of the arguments that we make, I anticipate, are going to be fairly similar, and we'll see how that turns out. But again, that response to that motion will be due 21 days from Friday, and I'll keep you guys updated as we get orders on both of those pending issues, both the judgment and then the motion to reconsider the fines. I think it's probably fair to say that it's a long shot request by Ironwood, and so that's where we are with that. And then we have a couple executive sessions to discuss a couple pending legal matters before the county. We've got an executive session to discuss the Kelroy Newman matter. That's the gentleman that unfortunately passed away in our county jail a couple years ago. And then we've also got an executive session to discuss the pending matter in front of the Colorado Civil Rights Division, the complaint that was made against our fair board. And so we'll discuss those. But other than that, I don't have anything to report.
Okay. Thank you, Ian. Travis?
Just a few things. Obviously, he was able to save some money on the quasi remodel of the third floor to create some more room. It's completed, if you gentlemen haven't seen that up there yet. Had some meetings or phone calls with Amy Tooker regarding the Dolores NCA. We went down to McElmo Canyon, looked at the free Adafite property and how we're going to be able to finish that project up and then move forward. Last week attended lunch with the seniors in Dolores with Commissioner Candelaria. Good conversations there. I'll let Commissioner Candelaria expound on that. And did meet with the City of Cortez manager and the Mancos manager regarding the concern over the dispatch IGA. Sounds like they're going to be able to move forward and work together on that. Obviously, we're an end user, so the IGA really doesn't have a whole lot to do with us as far as negotiations. That's a City of Cortez responsibility. And then lastly, just have the financials for this month, or month of February. So general fund totals was $1,663,441.73. Road and Bridge, $601,927.95. Public Health, $180,620.59. Capital Fund, $17,812. Administration Fund, $3,008.88. Landfill Fund, $107,956.75. Total of $2,574,767.90 with social services at $1,725,103.88 with a total of $4,299,871.78.
I would so move we approve the February financials in the amount of $4,299,871.78.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the financials through February 29th, 2024 in the amount of $4,299,871.78. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Is that it, Travis?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Kopenifer.
Really, I don't have much to report from this last week. I didn't have any other meetings other than a legislative update as far as water stuff through Southwest and stuff. So other than that, I don't have anything to report, just a few phone calls and a few other conversations going on, but nothing drastic.
Okay.
Yes, I did go out to the Ag Expo, wandered around, conversed for well over an hour or so with a lot of people. Got some input. It's pretty good time. So, other than that, I received a phone call from the new incoming chairman of Club 20, and he's trying to be more active. They're trying to be more active on the western slope. And other than that, a few conversations with people, a few phone calls, and that's about the size of it. City council tonight.
All right, very good. Again, Travis already touched on this just a little bit. We started off Wednesday last week. We did, actually had lunch, went over to the the old Dolores Community Center, which is now being run by the city of Dolores. That transaction has taken place. Had lunch with the seniors over there. It was actually very well attended. There was probably 24 people. Had Navajo tacos. Then was able to give a short presentation, and it went very well. Thursday we took a ride. Travis said down County Road G, but it really wasn't down County Road G. It was in N.M.P.M, in the middle of N.M.P.M, on the private property that sits right in the middle of N.M.P.M.
That's a journey.
And it was a journey. We were 8.1 miles off of County Road G, and to get back 8.1 miles on those roads is a somewhat of a task. Next time we'll take a quad or a side-by-side instead of a vehicle, because it would be much quicker. But we're able to look at, the progress that the guys are making down there on that Freatophyte project that we are doing, and looked at some of the needs that they had, and then got back out of there. Friday had a land use meeting with CCI over House Bill 24-1366, Sustainable Local Government, Community and Planning. After 2 votes, we were unable to make any kind of consensus, so this will be basically a no vote. We will take no position on this bill, because after an hour-long conversation, nobody could come up with any agreement whether to oppose, support, amend. So it's just going to be a no position on this bill. Went out to the Ag Show, had a lot of conversations out there. I did get out there early Friday morning, so it wasn't super busy, but it looked like it was starting to get that way, and enjoyed that thoroughly. Yesterday, obviously, we had our workshop, which we've taken care of all that business as of today. Went to the Dolores meeting last night. They did table the Dolores contract for the sheriffs. Last night that was taken off of their agenda, and that will further to come on that later on. And then they will be seating their new positions, I think, in April, mid-April, after they get their elections done. And I believe that is all that I have.
Real quick, Commissioner, I have one more thing. Frank LeBou has taken a position with the state, and we are in the process of trying to get a new VSO. But in the interim, we're going to bring Rick Torres back to assist the veterans. So,
And assist us in finding another VSO.
correct.
Okay.
So we will have him back for an interim. Hopefully we can get this done relatively quickly and make sure that we have this position filled. But some of the requirements are a little bit tough, so it may take a little bit longer than normal, but we will be working on it diligently. But we do have the interim to make sure that no services are stopped at all.
Is Rick here now?
He indicated he would be leaving Friday to
Okay.
head over. So,
Should be here this week sometime.
Okay. Okay. I move to go into executive session for conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to move into executive session for a conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Included in that will be our clerk, Ms. Purcell, Commissioners Copenhaver, Candelaria, Lindsay, Attorney McLaren, and Administrator Anderson.
And this will be an executive session about, as I said earlier, the Kelroy Newman jailhouse death. And just for the public watching out there and the people here, we'll come out of this executive session, and then we've got another executive session on the agenda. So we're not going to handle these together. We'll come out of this one, and then we'll go into the second one.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we are, go ahead.
We're back in session. I would so move we come out of executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to come out of executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now I would so move that we go into executive session for a conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to move into executive session for a conference with the attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions under CRS Section 24-6-402, parentheses 4, parentheses B. Included in this executive session will be Kim Purcell, Clerk, Commissioners Copenhaver, Candelaria, and Lindsay, Attorney McLaren, and Administrator Anderson.
And this is an executive session to discuss the complaint that was filed against the Fair Board by Mr. Rubin on behalf of Lexi Rubin. And that's a complaint in front of the Colorado Civil Rights Division.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
back once again. So move we come out of executive session.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to exit executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have come to the end of our agenda for the day, gentlemen.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn this March 26th meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.